Hello, everybody, and welcome to Short Pit, a NASCAR podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Chesney. Alongside me, as usual, Cam and BR. Chris once again calling out. So, because this is a unexcused absence, we're docking all of his playoff points. It's you hate to see it, but you got to enforce the law at some point. Cam, BR, how are you, fellas?
Fine.
Good.
Great. And because Chris is out, we had to get a substitute driver for his spot. So I've called up the good doctor, Mike Stokes, in his glasses with Barney and Biggie Smalls behind him in his floral shirt. Check out his podcast, Floral Foolishness Sports. I didn't know if you were going to do that or if I was. But Mike, introduce yourself to everybody watching at home, to the rest of the cast. This is your 30 seconds.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad to be on the show. Mikey GC here. GC stands for Great Clips. Let's go. Fresh cuts. Yeah, so happy to be here this week. Been a lifelong NASCAR fan. Looking forward to getting into it, and nice to meet Cam and BR in the digital space.
Love it. It was probably the best intro we've had as our only guest so far. So wear that crown proudly. As he goes and pulls for the hat. There we go. Love it. That thing's seen some stories.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what do we have on tap today? Well, we had the Iowa Corn 350. A pretty uneventful weekend for sure, but I'm sure we'll find something to bitch about. This article dropped from The Athletic talking about some of the seats that could be moving around that we pulled up at the last second that we'll run through, give our thoughts. We'll have our DraftKings segment, go through the driver props, the matchups, the group winner, weekly awards, Stokes' first entries for driver of the week and terrorist of the week. And then we'll get into the Glen, which I know Stokes is very fond of. All right, so let's just get right to it. The Iowa Corn 350. BR, I'm going to kick it with you first and foremost. One of the races all time, certainly.
That's a bit generous. That race was a shitter. Yeah, it was. I mean, okay, to be fair, the battle for the lead in the first stage was pretty cool, but after that, it was not very enjoyable to watch, frankly. It was, I mean, fuel mileage you get for the second week in a row that someone was about to run out of fuel, and yet they had enough to do the crazy ass burnouts. Yeah, and again, another example of clean air is the most important thing with this car. Once you get in the dirty air, your car just becomes an anchor. It's not willing to do anything. So yeah, it was not the most entertaining watch, to be honest, but hey, it's like that sometimes.
Is it the worst race so far this year?
Well, I didn't watch, with the disclaimer that I did not watch the Bristol race for.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough watch.
I forget why, but I was doing something that prevented.
Yeah, you had something better to do.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, excluding that one, yeah, I would say so.
Cam, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was atrocious, which is weird because, I mean, I have some bias because my driver won the last iteration of this race, but it was not that bad. I think it got like 91% on the Gluck poll, the first one. So I don't know why it was so bad in comparison. I don't think it's the worst race of the year. I think it's the third worst. I think Bristol was worse. And I think whatever the hell that thing that happened at Talladega was worse.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Oh yeah,
that was just cars basically running in a parade for the entire race at a super speedway. But outside of those, yeah, I mean, that was bad. I mean, the battle for the lead to start was fun. I even said it in the chat. I was like, yeah, this is at least something. But in reality, the only reason it was a battle for the lead is because the 6, who was much faster, couldn't pass it. That was the reason there was a battle. And with a real race car, he would have already drove by him. But it's like, no, it was the car just caused all types of problems. There was like 12 cautions that didn't even change anything because nobody could pass. Like, if you usually, as a race fan, when you see all those cautions, you're like, okay, at least there'll be chaos. And there wasn't any.
Nope.
And then you got a car at the end, that's 6 tons faster in the field that can only get to fourth because they can't pass. So no, it was not a good race. But I shouldn't be surprised with this car, but I'm a little surprised just because the first race here at night when they should have even more grip was way better. So I don't know what that is.
What did it get on the Gluck poll this week? Do you have like the number
46.
offhand? 46.
Yeah, which is only cautions. It would probably be 20 if that thing went green the whole time.
Yeah, that was rough. Stokes, anything to add?
Yeah, I think that some of why this race wasn't as exciting as it could be really goes back to the broadcaster, right? Because there was some good racing throughout the pack, but when the whole time you're just focused on the front and you've got a 6 machine that really couldn't do nothing, like you're gonna run out of stories at some point. So it was on until WrestleMania came on. I'll be honest, or SummerSlam. So yeah, it was a little bit of a snooze fest, but I did like it a little bit better than Sonoma, just a hair. So
yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. On both accounts.
Yeah, the Shane Van Gisbergen let's just sweep the middle of the season series. So
yeah, go ahead and mark yourself third in playoff points. No big deal. Yeah. I had something in mind, but I lost my train of thought with the SummerSlam thing.
Here, I'll pick you up real quick because I forgot to mention it. The fuel mileage. This could be a discussion for all of us. If fuel mileage on a short track is absurd. Right here, tracking fuel laps on a short track because this car is the only thing that could create that.
Yeah, it's a tough watch. Would any of us have even watched past like the middle of the second stage if this was on Fox?
I would have because I'm a psycho, but you shouldn't.
No, yeah, that borders on self-harm, and you need to get help.
Well, yeah, because with this sport, I'm a masochist in many ways, so I would have still done it, but like.
Yeah, I mean, I had nothing better to do, so I probably would have. But
good. That's what it sounds like. We all need hobbies. All right. So I was about said and done. Well, since this didn't get your Terrorist of the Week nomination, Stokes, I'm gonna pass the ball to you one more time. Your dog, Chase Elliott. You had some choice words for him in the pre-show. He didn't win your Terrorist of the Week. But I'd like to at least give that a little thought. Kyle Larson had a meltdown on the radio on Sunday saying, I'm trying to be a good teammate. I'm trying to race clean through the field. And everybody just keeps ping-ponging me with a bunch of, cuss words up and down, left and right. Your guy Chase Elliott seemed to make him quite darn mad.
Yeah, there was a nice big old 9 plastered on the 5 machine on his driver's side. Definitely during that second stage. I don't know. For a while, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make him my Terrorist of the Week, even though I'm a fan of him. But then I thought, no, I think there was someone worse. But at the same time, like, how much longer are we going to have to listen to Chase Elliott in a very just normal tone say, I have to change my driving style for this vehicle? Everybody does. Everybody has at this point. And yet you're one of the guys in, the top 10, top 15 who's ping-ponging off of people, in particular your own teammate. Like, I get it. Larson has been nothing short of an asshole to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports at one point or another. But come on, when you're going to do that in a middle of the pack running with the squirrel situation, I don't know. It just, that to me displayed much less talent on his part for navigating the track than anybody else. Yeah, it was just disappointing run for him. Just disappointing run.
Yeah, and it's even more disappointing because, fellas, he finished one spot better than where we could pull out the ho-hum t-shirts.
damn,
P14 instead of P15.
damn, I left here with something.
Yeah, we could have had something. Pork. I'd like to hear Chris's take on that. Hopefully, he watches it back and he can tell me his take on that for sure. But yeah, Chase Elliott just with another kind of mediocre day. BR, anything to add for the sort of Kyle Larson teammate drama?
Not really.
Good. At least we got something out of it. Bowman also got into a little bit of a run-in with Kyle Busch on pit road. It was kind of a sticky spot for everybody at that because you had Bowman, Busch, and Suarez, like they were all like lined up in pit road together, and Bowman went in first, and then when Kyle went in, he was trying to get in the middle of Bowman and Suarez in front of him, and he ended up like short pitting it almost, and his like half ass was outside of the box, so Bowman had to pull out, stop, wait, and then when they got out of pit road, Bowman flipped him off, and Kyle Busch had a meltdown.
I thought it was Busch who did the flipping off. Am I mistaken?
No, Bowman did it first, and then Busch did it back.
I see.
But when they got off pit road, Bowman gave him the finger, and then Rowdy had a meltdown on the radio and gave it back. Fortunately, didn't end up in anything substantial. Bowman finished 7th. Kyle Busch finished 20th. All right. So Iowa is in the rearview mirror. We're done. Let's get to our drivers of the week. I feel like this could be unanimous, but I'll throw it out there anyway. Cam, who's your driver of the week?
I mean, I don't know if I've ever given driver of the week the same driver back-to-back weeks, but I'm going to give it to Bubba Wallace.
Okay.
Drove from P32 to P6 on a single tire run. Didn't see anybody do that the whole day. So yeah, we'll go with him.
BR.
Well, he went with my favorite driver. I'm gonna go with his, Ryan Blaney. At the end, he 0.6 faster than everyone in the field. If he had 3 more, maybe not with this, because he would have had dirty air trademark. But yeah, 0.6 faster than the field at the end of the race was absolutely absurd. That was something different. That was crazy. So I will go with Ryan Blaney.
He did it at Darlington too, and didn't win either race. Life of a Ryan Blaney fan.
At Darlington, didn't he blow up like 2 weeks in a row? Hit that in Homestead.
No, he didn't blow up Darlington. He was leading the race at the end, and Bubba caught Larson, and that caution came out, and he.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I remember. Stokes, who's your driver of the week?
I'm going to go with Austin Dillon this week. Just because that is a shop that produces crap cars, but he was running up front all day, and really that whole organization, he had a top 10. So give it to Austin Dillon.
Dillon finished P10, right in the top 10. Is that his? That's got to be one of the first of the year. He's got 4 top 10s this year. His first since Texas. He finished 7th. So we're going back a ways. 10th at Talladega, 8th at Wilkesboro, which doesn't count. It was the heat race. Where's the other? Oh, Bristol. He finished 10th as well. Chris went with Brad K, and as am I. That was probably as good of a chance as any that he was going to get that win. We still got a race left in Richmond and Daytona where he could be a force, but this was a real sign of life for that RFK team and Brad K especially. So we're both going to go with him. All right, terrorist of the week. Chris went with the short track package. Like we said, dirty air trademark. BR, where are you going with this?
All right, just because I want to laugh at this, Carson Hocevar, because okay, I'm gonna give it.
We can say the word BR. It's fine.
Oh, I'm gonna say Carson Hocevar as I don't know. It wasn't Jones himself, but someone on his team, to quote him, for driving like a retard.
It's the story of his season so far, making not a lot of friends at the front of the pack there, or in this case, the back of the pack, because Zane Smith's not really all that good. Cam.
I mean, I'm going to give it to the car. I mean, I don't actually think it's the short track package. I don't think the package is bad. The problem is these cars are way too tired and tired, TIRE, and way too and have way too much brakes. They can't do anything. That's why the aero's so bad. The cars are like a foot off the ground and have way too much brake and way too much tire. That's why these short track races suck. Like the horsepower would be great, of course, but there are things they could do to not have to put the horsepower in the car, and they just don't. I mean, that's why you can't follow cars in dirty air, is because these cars are a foot off the ground. That's why if you look at an open wheel race, those cars are almost dragging the ground. They have to put a wooden plank at the bottom so that they don't bottom out. Is you have to put. I saw Denny talking about this in Action Detrimental. It's like you have to have some ground effect in these cars, and they just don't. Like that's why they suck so bad, and they just won't do anything about it. And that's why that race was awful. Is because they could not they could not follow a car. You saw Brad get to the bumper of the 24 how many times, and it was like there was a parachute on the end of the 24 that he was just bouncing off of. And so yeah, I'm giving it to the car. I mean, there was some funny dust ups in the field, but that car just made it where they couldn't do anything. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know why, because I didn't think it was that bad the first time they were here.
No, not at all. I'm gonna fall right in line with you, actually. Stokes, where are you going with your terrorist of the week, your first nomination?
Yeah, I got two this week. One that happened in Iowa, one that happened in Bristol. We'll start with that one. The Major League Baseball game that sort of kind of happened delayed in Bristol that ran out of concessions after being open for 1 hour in a rain delay like that. I don't know what it is. Like Bristol's doing the right thing of trying to bring in more money there and bring in more events and such, but God, they just cannot get it right. So that's first one. In Iowa, I'm going with Chase Briscoe for knocking out three of the better Toyotas midway through stage 3.
All right, Chase Briscoe. That's his first nomination for Terrorist of the Week this season, I believe. And the MLB game in Bristol, I did hear a lot of not great things as far as that story goes. Really making me excited for my trip next month.
It won't be the same thing. There was twice as many people at that baseball game as you're going to find at Bristol. You won't have a problem, I promise.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I went to Bristol a couple years ago. No, the reason why is because there was 85,000 people at that baseball game, and there's like 40 at a NASCAR race.
40 people total?
Thousands, of course.
All right, the Glen, of course. Or wait, actually, let's go to this story real quick before we do the DraftKings segment, just to fill out a little bit more time so we have a decently sized show and we don't end after a half hour. So The Athletic posted this story earlier this week. Might have been yesterday.
It was this morning.
It was this morning. Oh, okay. We're getting it fresh. And BR was nice enough to give me a TLDR so I don't have to read through everything. So we're going to rapid fire these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, and we'll go from there. So first things first, Justin Haley will be sacked if Spire finds someone who they feel is an upgrade for that 7 car. Stokes, I'll kick it to you. Justin Haley in the 7. Obviously, last year he was the guy rumored to go to the 48. Who knows what the hell happened with that? But do you have any ideas of who should replace Haley? If Haley should be replaced, I'll let you kick off that.
Honestly, I just keep him in the car. I would say, he's still growing with a organization that really doesn't know success just yet. A car that's been kind of subpar the whole year. I don't see anybody else coming through. I think Justin Haley's going to be just fine where he's at for 2026.
Staying just in the 7. BR.
Well, to kind of spoil the next one, I would put in Daniel Suarez. I mean, they're kind of two cheeks of the same ass, but yeah, Suarez brings more sponsorship money. I mean, he, he's had some wins on play tracks. Road courses. I think he brings more of a Hail Mary shot to win a race than Haley at this juncture. And then, like I said, I don't know how long it goes, but since everyone is broke, apparently, the sponsorship money. So if I was running Spire, I would be trying to bring in Daniel Suarez.
Don't hate that idea, Cam.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's a big thing to get, like a big, urgent thing to get rid of him. I do think he has clearly been the third best driver on that team, which you never want to have. But I mean, that's the thing. If they want to replace him, the options are there. Like BR said, they want to go with a guy that's, quote unquote Cup Series proven, then go with Suarez. But the Xfinity Series, I mean, just within their own manufacturer, you have Carson Quapple and Jesse Love. If you want to develop a driver and you want to pull them right out of Chevy, if you don't want to pull them out of Chevy, you've got guys like Sam Mayer who have won now 8 or 9 races in Xfinity. There's Taylor Gray is a talent too, who there may not be space for him in Toyota. Like, there's a lot of things you could do if you want to get rid of Justin Haley. But I mean, it's funny because he came into the series so young that like he has been in the series for years now, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, Childers is out of there now, so they don't have that to fall back on either. So I don't know. I think the only way they would get rid of Haley for Suarez is, like BR said, if they just felt that the sponsor money is so drastically different. But I mean, if they want to develop another young driver, I think Jesse Love fits their ethos really well, because it doesn't sound like Pop's going to kick his grandson out anytime soon, as much as we'd all like to see that. So yeah, I think that there's a chance they could move on from him, but I think they'd have to really commit to another like young driver for that, and I don't know if they're in that headspace.
Yep. All right. Number 2, Suarez doesn't want to go down to Xfinity, but he may have to due to lack of seats open. Cam, if you were one of these teams that is going to need a driver next year, would you be taking a hefty look at Daniel Suarez?
Not particularly. I mean, there's just not a lot of seats. I mean, how many drivers in the field is he really better than? I mean, except for your like Cody Wares and Catherine Leggs and stuff. Like, how many drivers is he really?
Those
better
cars
than?
are crap, no matter who you put it in.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, how many is he really better than? Is he better than Ricky Stenhouse? I don't think so. Is he better than? I mean, maybe he's better than a couple of the front row guys, but I mean, at best, I think you're washing with those guys. So it's like, I guess. I mean, Colleague might sign him because they're money whores, and they might kick
that's a really good point. They might send Dinger back down to Xfinity if he doesn't win the Glen.
That was their excuse for sticking Derek Kraus in that car for many races that one season. So maybe that, and it's a Chevy team, maybe. But I mean, there's just not a lot of seats, and I just don't think he's close enough to the median of the average driver in Cup. I don't know. I think some guys, they'll never do it because it'll hurt their ego. But I think there's some guys that could go down to Xfinity and win 4 or 5 races a year and make a good living. They just won't do it.
Shout out to Justin Allgaier, who's been doing that. BR.
Yeah, I mean, I pitched the Spire idea because, again, another Chevy team, they might need them. I mean, I was going to say maybe for McDowell instead of Haley, but honestly, would you rather have Suarez than McDowell at this rate?
No.
Yeah, so I like Cam said, his ego might prevent him from doing it, but yeah, he could go down to Xfinity, win a lot of. If I was him, I would be calling. If I was Daniel, I'd be calling up Junior and begging him to put me in.
You wouldn't have to beg him. He's great friends with Suarez. He'd probably be like, "Word."
Fair enough.
That part-time 9 car they have now, he'd probably be like,
yeah. That's what I would do if I was Suarez, because I'd almost rather be in Junior with Junior in Xfinity than in like Rick Ware.
What sucks is the money's so drastically different. It is actually more money to be 40th in the Cup Series than be a winner in the Xfinity Series. But at some point, like, don't you, like, as a race car driver, want to win races? Don't you want to, like, be fast?
I mean, he's one of the few people on earth that still supports Bo and Sarah, so maybe that dude will make up the difference.
Stokesy.
Hey, yeah, nothing much else to add here. I really do think that Suarez going down one level is the best thing that he could do for his career right now. No doubt about it. And I was also going to say, yeah, throw him in that 9 car in Xfinity. So, yeah, nothing else to add.
Zilich, Connor Zilich is for sure taking the 99 seat. No shit. We knew that was going to happen the second Suarez was announced that he wasn't going to be returning, which also happened seconds after Jimmy Johnson was like, yeah, I'd like to put him in our legacy car. Stokes, are you excited for Zilich in Cup?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hype around him. I think he brings a lot of the before mentioned good monies with him, including Red Bull. So of course it was going to happen. I don't see it right now. I'll be honest. I don't see it.
VR.
I am excited. In Cup level, it might take a year, at least for the ovals. Although he's been dog walking Xfinity the last 2 months, so maybe something's clicked. But yeah, him on road courses, him at SVG competing for a win could very easily be happening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Did he run? Did he run the Dakota race? He raced, right, and then got wrecked by.
Suarez sent him into. Funnily enough, Suarez sent him into the next zip code.
He knew he was coming for that job. He had to put it off as much as he could. Yeah, Cam.
You know, I'm kind of even though I'm a Blaney fan, I'm the resident like Trackhouse fan. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to see it. I mean, yeah, it might take a year or two for him to be like a contender, air quotes, but that team could finish 1, 2, 3 on a road course really easily with those 3 guys. He's the closest thing that we've had as NASCAR to having like a Verstappen like talent, at least in theory. Like obviously, there's guys that win a ton, and look at Noah Gragson. There's guys that win a ton in the lower series that turn out to be average at best, but his ability on the road courses, I think, would really kind of shows you that talent is there. So yeah, I mean, if nothing else, he will give us somebody that can run with Van Gisbergen on road courses, because we saw him do it when Van Gisbergen was running at Sonoma in the Xfinity Series. Like at the very least, we'll at least have him compete on road courses.
Is there anything? What else do we got here? Dodge is talking to teams about rejoining Cup, and it's seemingly a matter of when they rejoin, not if. Stokes, we're getting another manufacturer in the building. Dodge coming back. What do you think?
For the truck series, the way that they unveiled that earlier this year was spot on. Well done, Dodge, bringing back the Ram. I definitely missed having Dodge in the top series too. I think, if you kind of look at Toyota when they came into NASCAR, how they kind of seeped in a little bit slowly from the lower series. I think we're about 3, maybe 4 years out from Dodge making a legitimate run at trying to get a team in Cup.
Cam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him on that. I mean, it'll probably take a little bit. I think it's good for the sport to have another OEM, because teams talk about it all the time, where like it's difficult as a lower team to really ascend when you're the 3rd, 4th team, on the pecking order at a OEM, where like if you're a Chevrolet team, Hendrick's going to be the first team with the input, then probably Trackhouse and RCR after that. And if you're Colleague, they don't even care about you. And that's why Legacy moved over to Toyota, is because they were in the same boat. Having a 4th OEM come in is going to be good for the sport, because it's going to absorb a couple of teams and take them out of the bottom of that pecking order and move them to the top of another OEM. It should make the field, in theory, more competitive. Now, that's all in theory. It could, for all we know, Dodge is run by fools now and they flop. We don't know. But I'm just saying that it, in theory, is very promising for the sport if, lower teams like Front Row or Colleague, or name your lower team, decides to jump over to Dodge, and all of a sudden they become the focus of a whole OEM. That could be a big thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Legacy jumped to Dodge first.
They might. Their only thing is that team has been through every manufacturer in the last 10 years, so they might not want to do that. They've been Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. So,
and they are starting to run really well with Toyota right now. Well, for their standards, like we're not seeing them just rip consistent top fives, but top 15, top 20 finishes is more than we could have asked for last year.
The only thing I was pretty sure about is if we did get Honda, which it seems like that's kind of cooled. If we ever get Honda, Trackhouse will jump immediately because now you have 2 drivers sponsored by Red Bull, and I'll give you one guess who makes the Red Bull power units in Formula One. So they'll jump over immediately if Honda shows up.
BR, anything to add as far as the Dodge OEM?
Nah.
Good. So I'll start with you on the last one, which is Denny Hamlin saying that this is probably it for him after 2027. After this contract is done, that'll probably be his retirement. He's still tracking that Brickyard 400 win, and he's still tracking that championship. Just thoughts on, we only got probably about 2 years left of Denny Hamlin.
I mean, as a driver, I would assume he's still gonna be doing the podcast, which I think, not to disrespect, obviously, because he's obviously a Hall of Fame driver and such, but I feel like at least these days, his podcast does a lot of good for the sport, because bringing a lot of, frankly, honesty that is not there with the people who run the sport right now. So yeah, I obviously top Hall of Fame driver. It'll be a big loss for Joe Gibbs. It'll be a big shoes to fill, but I would be pretty shocked if he just pulled a Carl Edwards and just went off the grid. He'll still be involved with 2311 and then the action's detrimental. So, but yeah, it'll be a big loss for the sport when he's done.
Cam?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows he's, before I kind of became a Blaney fan, about 8 years ago, he's one of my favorite drivers, Hamlin was. But he did say on Extra Detrimental, though, if they do change the playoff system, he would be open to going more years after that. He said if they change the playoff system to something that resembles, a motorsport, he might stay past that contract. But no, I mean, it'll be interesting because, I mean, as of right now, he's still as much at his peak as he's ever been. So it'd be interesting if he does actually retire still as a championship threat like Edwards did, as BR kind of alluded to. Obviously not as young as Edwards was, but it'd be interesting how that goes. And it'd be quite the storyline if he can almost walk off with the championship, because I mean he could do it any year, so.
Yeah, part of me wonders if he happens to win the championship this year, does he call it early?
He might.
Stokes, typically not one to have nice things to say about Denethy, but I'll give you the mic anyway.
NASCAR will take a hit. Joe Gibbs Racing will take a hit. I will celebrate. Hang him up, buddy. Hang him up. I can't wait for that.
He's waiting for it.
He said pack watch on standby.
It'll be interesting though what happens when that happens, because the Toyota pipeline is not exactly rich at the moment. And because apparently Corey Haim has tape on somebody's mom in the Toyota camp, so they don't fuck with him for some reason. So
and he doesn't progress. He just sits in trucks and just dominates.
They don't let him. But I mean, Taylor Gray has shown some promise, but unless you just really mess with the John Hunter's Nemecheks, there's really not a whole lot in that pipeline. So it'll be interesting what they do. I mean, they didn't care when they just took Briscoe off, but that was kind of a special situation where a whole team folded. So it'd be interesting.
Well, listen, there might be 2 whole teams folding here pretty soon.
Who knows?
Yeah, my first thought was Reddick, but I'm like, unless something catastrophic happens to 2311, I can't imagine that they would fuck over Denny like that.
I don't know. I mean, they might not want to, but if they go over there, if Reddick sees that seat open and Gibbs is the Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole is still performing at least solidly better than 2311 is. There's a good chance they just look at him and go, "Hey, look, dude, go find you one of these other guys. I'm gonna go to Gibbs," and they're gonna have a hard time like being able to argue with Toyota about that. But I don't really anticipate that.
All right, that was the article that dropped this morning. In summary, all right, now we can talk about the Glen. Let's go to our DraftKings segment first, then we'll get into the race at hand. Let's go to these driver props. We got some matchups for you today and some groups, so should be fun. First things first is Chris Buescher versus Michael McDowell. Chris Buescher, obviously, last year's winner versus the 71 car. Michael McDowell. Stokes, who do you got in this matchup?
Oof. I'm going with my boy, Mikey McD.
My boy, I just heard Cam shudder.
Hey,
Cam.
Look, the one time I was on pit road in a race, he was the only driver who would give me a fist bump. Fuck you, Denny. Anyway, go for it.
Is this where the Denny hatred stems from? The lack of a fist bump?
No, well, I mean, it added to the allure of hatred, but yeah. So now, give me some Mikey McD. Figures it out this week.
I mean, I just can't. I mean, one, Buescher's incredible here, regardless. But I can't trust that 71 to not explode or spin or get a pit road penalty or something. Like, not only that, Buescher's incredible here. I think the only guy with a higher average finish than him is Van Gisbergen because he finished second in one race.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, I'm going to go with Buescher because he could win this race. Like, he could straight up. So can McDowell, of course. But, like, I mean, if you kind of just decide they're equal road course acumen, because they kind of probably are, and then which one of those cars do you trust to stay in the front? Probably Roush. So I'll go with Buescher.
I too go with Buescher. BR?
Yeah, I'll go with Buescher too.
All right. Stokes, he's on the island of McDowell, and he will wear that flag proudly. Zane Smith versus Carson Hocevar. Zane Smith, we laugh, but Zane Smith finished fifth here last year in his only race here.
Hocevar finished third.
Hocevar finished third, so you can go either way on this according to the stats. BR, I'll start with you.
I'm going to take Zane Smith just because I don't trust Hocevar to not wreck himself and or some maybe
seven
not,
other people. Yeah.
Yeah, some get him into a situation that messes him up. So I'm going to take Zane Smith.
Cam?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm gonna take Hocevar just because I feel like that car is gonna be faster, but I mean, he's genuinely like a menace to society at the moment. So,
Stokesy.
Yeah, give me Zane Smith on this one. Hocevar doesn't know what an S is in English. He's not going to know what it is on the track. That's going to be it.
Good. I feel the same way. Zane Smith. SVG versus Kyle Larson. I mean, look, Kyle Larson's as good as anybody, but not as good as SVG on a road course.
Yeah, SVG.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. William Byron versus Ross Chastain. Another guy Stokes doesn't have many fond words for. Stokesy, where you go on this?
Billy v. Ross. Yeah, give me Billy Byron on this one.
No choice words for Ross. I'm stunned.
No, he hasn't been able to shove as many watermelons down people's throat as he likes. So, why rain on his parade anymore?
Good. BR.
I'm going to take Chastain because Byron still hasn't won on speed. I don't care that he won this week. It wasn't on speed. It was on aerodynamics being so shit. So,
Mr.
yeah.
Clean Air, right.
Yeah, clean air merchant. So, yeah, give me Chastain.
I will take Byron myself. Cam.
Chastain's been really fast on road courses this year, but he's not really been able to hold it at the end of the race. And for whatever reason, Hendrick really loves this place. I mean, Byron dominated this race a couple years ago, so I'm going to go with him.
Yep. Byron's average finish here at the Glen is 19th with one top five. Wrecked or some. Yeah, he wrecked last year ish. He finished the race, but he finished 34th after. Was it Brad's tire that went through his window, or did his tire go through Brad's window?
Something like that.
In 2022, he finished 22nd. In 21, he finished 6th. Old car. We don't even need to bother. But obviously has the win in 23. Finished 2nd and 1st in the stages. Ross Chastain, 2 top 20s. P4 last year, won the 2nd stage and was on pole. So I'll go with Byron, but it's closer than one might think. All right, the groups. And then we can get into the race as it is. Group A, William Byron versus Kyle Larson versus Christopher Bell versus Michael McDowell. Kim.
I mean, of those 4, Bell's been the most consistent on road courses this year, but he's also, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him right now, so I'm not going to go with him. I'll go with him, but he's been, I don't know what's wrong with him right now, though.
I am taking Byron myself. Stokes, do you need me to read the group again?
Nope.
Okay.
All good. Let's put me down for C. Bell for this one. Rally time.
Yeah, he's due. BR.
I'm gonna take Kyle Larson.
All right. So we have a Byron, 2 Bells, and a Larson. Michael McDowell is told to get fucked. Group B, Chase Elliott versus Kyle Busch versus Tyler Reddick versus Ross Chastain. Stokesy, this is your boy.
Yeah. Speaking of people who can get fucked, Shrub get fucked this week. Chase out of that group. Chase got his first Cup Series win here way back in the day in the old car. I could see a little bit of glory coming his way. Just out of this group, he's not going to win the race, though.
Okay. BR.
I apologize, but can you read that again?
Yeah, I get that Shrub took the win out of all this. Elliott versus Busch versus Reddick versus Chastain.
Yeah, I'll go with Elliott too.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. Cam?
I was gonna be different and go with Reddick. I acknowledge that the safest bet here is Elliott, but I'm just gonna be different and go with Reddick because he was really fast at Chicago. So
yeah, he's got 2 top 10s here. 8th in his 2023.
I'm pretty fast at Sonoma, if I recall. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like
Sonoma. I'll take a look.
I could be really
Sonoma. He finished 6th.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Last group. Chris Buescher versus AJ Allmendinger versus Chase Briscoe versus Ty Gibbs. I think you gotta take Buescher just based off of what he's done here. BR.
I really want to take Allmendinger, but yeah, I'll take Buescher.
Stokesy?
Give me Dinger on this one.
Trusting the car not to go boom. I love it. Cam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the guy that at Sonoma was the only guy that had a median lap anywhere in the same universe as Van Gisbergen, and I'm going to take Chase Briscoe.
All righty. There we have it. All right, the Glen, everybody. Another road course, although we're a little bit removed from that like month of hell where we had like 3 or 4 of them in a like a 5 race window. I hope you guys are ready for it. Stokesy, what are your thoughts on the Glen? Obviously, you picked to come on this show for this race in particular. What is the reason for that? What do you like about the Glen? This minute's yours.
Yeah. So every year, except for I guess this one upcoming, dating back about 6-7 years now, go up to a conference at Watkins Glen. It's a little bit more academic-y and nerdy, but it's hosted in and around the track. They've had it the past couple of years in the public relations, like media area right next to Victory Lane. I just absolutely love Watkins Glen, both the track and the small village they're in. Absolutely fantastic place if you ever get the chance to go, even if it's not, during a race or whatnot. They have all sorts of great haunts and a lot of tie-ins to racing throughout the community. And I definitely want to shout out probably the best racing bar I've ever been to that was just a bar and didn't have anything really else going on with it would be Seneca Lodge. If you've ever heard of that, it's a place where a bunch of old Formula One drivers would go. Some of them, it would be their last night on this planet before Formula One either pulled out or put in a little bit more safety, which really didn't happen at the Glen so much. A lot of history. The town buys into the track. It's a really great atmosphere there year round. So, yeah, I absolutely love that. And I'll give just one last shout out to the IMRRC. They are a small museum that's there in Watkins Glen that helps to preserve racing history in all of its forms, which, of course, includes NASCAR. They're right next to the public library. Go give them a shout. They have just crates full of stuff that, like pictures, old results and such that haven't been seen in really a long time and have quite the backlog, but it's an incredible place run by some great people.
Why don't you get a job as their PR person? Like, good God, that was as good of a sell as we could have asked for.
Because they're a nonprofit, they can't afford anybody else.
Got it.
So
they couldn't pay the Stokes check.
Many people's check, but they work hard there, and they've been really good to a lot of people who go there. So
I think the plan is for me and my cousin to go next year. Next fall. We got Bristol this year, and then obviously we go to Loudon every year. We'll see you there. BR, the Glen. Are you excited for another SVG belt to ass, or are you optimistic?
I mean, in terms of it not being belt to ass, no. I mean, it'll be a road course race, a normal road course race. I enjoy road course races. I feel like more than the average person, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it'll probably just be the standard road course race.
Cam, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is bar none the best road course for stock cars on planet Earth. So that does allow for more excitement. I mean, am I optimistic it won't be belt to ass? No. I mean, Van Gisbergen was half a lap from winning this race in the 16. But it is historically a track that's really hard for one guy to run away, and in contrast with a lot of other road courses, because the lap isn't as long and it's faster, which will help other drivers too. The more technical and more brake you need, the more SVG has an advantage. But yeah, I mean, it's also one of the more chaotic ones where you may get some yellows at the end, or where who knows what happens when that happens, because it's a lot harder to not throw a yellow at the Glen because it is a shorter length. There isn't a whole lot of runoff in a lot of places. So that will help there potentially being a good finish in a different winter. But no, I mean, Larson said it the best when they were interviewing him a couple months ago, where he was like, what Van Gisbergen does with the braking, what he does with the clutch, it would take us 10 years to learn it. And even if we learned it, we would still be 5 years from being as good as him at doing it. It just, what he does with the clutch to save the rear tires, they just can't deal with that, especially on a longer run. But the Glen a lot of times doesn't have a whole lot of long green flag runs because, like I said, like when one car spins in the S's or one car spins in the bus stop at a different road course, you can just let him be over there and let him turn it around. At the Glen, you don't have that much time. So you get yellows here. So that may help.
Alrighty, folks, we gave you something to believe in. It might not be the belt to ass that the other road courses have been, but still very good chance that it could happen. All right, driver picks. For these road courses, I typically try to encourage you guys not to take SVG because him versus the field is usually insane. Yeah, plus 165 to the field. If anybody's wondering, Connor Zilich is apparently running this race.
Oh, he is
So
running this race.
another guy to add to your list. I say that because you have plus 165 Van Gisbergen, plus 370 Connor Zilich. And everybody else is plus 1,000 and under. So Zilich and Van Gisbergen versus the field is quite the bet. But I'll start with Chris because he wrote it in here. He's taking Seabell or Stokes' absolute favorite guy on the fucking planet, Austin Cindric. So
he sucks here.
You have to ask Chris.
I don't usually question like picks, but like as a Penske fan, Penske sucks here. Like I won't even go near Ryan Blaney in anything all week.
I mean, I'll throw it out there. Joey Logano, of the drivers who have run 3 or more races here, has the 3rd best average finish.
Yeah, Logano, because he's Logano. He'll run 18th all day, and it's like, oh, wait, he's 8th. It's not because he's fast.
BR, I'll start with you. Who are you picking this week?
Chris Buescher, very good here. I mean, if not that I'm not allowed to pick SVG, but that's boring as hell. So I'll take Chris Buescher to win this race.
Yeah, it's a strong encouragement not to. His odds are actually plus 2,000. We'll see what happens like when we get later into the week, and then we have the top 5, the top 3, the top 10. I imagine he's going to be plus odds for a top 3. Top 5 might be where you run into it. Cam.
The reason he's probably plus 2,000 is because other than when he won this race last year, as good as he is at road courses, he very rarely is competing for the win. Is probably why he's that far down.
Yeah, a 1st, a 7th, and a 9th.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fun with it. Because I mean, if we all had to put up our real money, we'd all bet on SVG. But I saw how fast he was at Austin when he ran until Suarez punted him. What a story it would be. I'm gonna pick Connor Zilich.
Suarez is not letting that happen.
It's already too late for him. But Zilich didn't qualify very well. I don't remember why, but there was a reason. And he was coming through the field at a unbelievable pace. Like he may have won that race if he didn't get wrecked.
Yeah, because that SPG wasn't super competitive in Austin.
Yeah, he was he started 6th and finished 6th. I don't know what happened with him on that.
Probably won 6 in the stages. Stoke or so Zilich is your pick at plus 375. You're not going to mess with the other guys.
No. I'm actually, even though
I was talking to Cam, but
sorry.
I'm picking Zilich. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Stokesy. Sorry to cut you off. Now we're here. Who are you going with?
Seabell.
You and Chris are in the same boat with the Christopher Bell pick.
I considered Ty Gibbs, but I didn't want to hurt Caleb's feelings.
Yeah.
Not because I hate Ty Gibbs or anything, but
I don't got to worry about this.
No, actually, no. I think it was an Xfinity Series race, so it doesn't matter. I can just picture in my head Ty Gibbs being at the front of the field at a Watkins Glen race and punting someone, but I think that was in the Xfinity Series, so never mind. Yeah. It was Sam Mayer. He just sent Sam Mayer into Canada. That was on a restart.
Yeah, there was no reason for it either.
I hate the pick segment because I know if I pick a guy that's not in the playoffs, it's gonna.
You have the SVG plot armor, man. It's okay.
I do, yeah, but this is brutal. This is tough. Is there SVG, a fun winner that I can pull out of my ass here?
Just pick SVG, man.
I'm not doing it. I'm not breaking my own rule.
Double down on what you need to happen. Or Tyler Reddick.
If I do that, then it's not going to happen.
Or Tyler Reddick. That doesn't affect you.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick wouldn't affect me.
Is Bowman good here?
No. Painfully
mid. He should be. I don't know why.
Painfully mid. I think he had his best run here last year. As I pull up the details here. It wasn't his best run here last year. He finished 18th. He finished second in the stage 1 and 8th in stage 2. So that was a pretty good points day for him. We were already in the playoffs. I think he was just trying to rack him up as he could. As you remember, Bowman and the first stage or 2 of those playoffs was the point leader for the first couple of rounds. Right up until the Bozempic hit.
Is Kyle Busch winning like the most conflicting way that could happen for you, to where like it hurts Bowman, but you like really want to be excited about it? Is that like the peak of conflict?
I would be cool with a Kyle Busch win. Just
you can afford one win or not two, right?
Yeah.
One would put us right on the line.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch here, okay points days. Not last year. He was like in that first wreck, I think that was.
For whatever reason, he's just run well on road courses in the 8. I don't know what that is. You would think that with how diabolical their short track program is, their road course program would be bad too, but it really isn't.
I'll take Kyle Larson.
So
still
boring, but just not.
Doesn't hurt me. Doesn't hurt me one bit. So the picks this week, if you're going to go with my guy of Kyle Larson, the top 3 lines just came in through. Kyle Larson plus 1,000 plus 175 for a top 3. Seabell plus 1,100 plus 300 for a top 3. Chase Elliott plus 1,600 for a win, plus 450 for a top 3. Bowman plus 3,500 plus 1,000 for a top 3. Ryan Blaney plus 7,000 plus 2,000 for a top 3.
He sucks here. It just there's no like way around that. He sucks here.
You can get Zilich plus money for a top 3 plus 110. SVG's minus money.
Yeah, I mean, because they probably figure Zilich won't qualify in the top 5 just because he's not used to the car. But
alrighty, friends. This was the Short Pit episode of the week. Stokesy, thank you for coming on. It's not a stretch to say without you, this show doesn't happen, because I would not be into the sport of NASCAR if it wasn't for your influence through the good times and right now the stressful times. Driver and all. Thanks for coming on. It's an open door whenever you want to show up. You just tell me and we'll set it up.
Thanks,
BR,
guys. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. BR, Cam, thanks for coming on again. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Chris is here and he can pick up the Chase Elliott banner that Stokes threw on the ground, stepped on, and said, "You deal with it." We'll be back after the Glen, and then we'll be talking about Richmond. Maybe a track where I have a shot. So,
thank you all for a really bad shot of somebody winning that you don't want to win.
Yeah, no, it's just as good of a chance as it is bad.
Because Brad was super fast at Iowa, and I remember as a Penske fan what he used to do at Richmond in the 2 when he had a fast car. So,
and then you have Ryan Preece right there.
Hey man, I don't know what's up with him, because he ran 30th all day and all of a sudden ended up 5th. I don't know if he was fast or not. So.
No, well, he had the speeding penalty with Bowman too. At the end the end of the stage,
but I'm just saying, he did stay 30th for a long time. But with this car, you don't know if he was actually fast or not. He might have just been stuck back there.
So. No, true. Alrighty, friends. We will see you all next week after the Glen pre-Richmond. Thanks for watching.